Hello and welcome to the midweek edition of A Game of Two Halves. On the night where the transfer deadline approaches, a week where football had to mourn again, and finally Fulham find the fighting spirit. How have you been this week? Good, sir.
Ill. Liverpool have annoyed me. Football is rubbish. But long live Rafa Benitez. What a man.
Well,
that's my summation of the week.
Yes, certainly. I think Rafa Benitez is a good place to start as well. Newcastle City, 2-1 win for Newcastle. Wow.
Well, I saw it coming. So
yes,
I'm going to sit here very smugly for the next 7-10 minutes or so.
Yep.
Well, I tell you that I did see this one coming, and the reason I did is because I've been screaming it all season, and people have looked at me as I'm a madman because I've been screaming it in the streets, and anyone who will listen. If you get at Manchester City and attack them, you will cause them problems. They do not defend as well as they did last year. For whatever reason, and that was evident in both goals. Rondon wins a header, and Fernandinho gets pressed,
Clumsy.
gives away the ball, clear penalty.
Yep. After a very fast start by Manchester City though, 30 seconds gone in the game, and Aguero has the ball back in the back of the net, you're thinking, Man City are going to go on to romp this, aren't they?
I hadn't even got a chance to turn the telly on at that point. I got a message from you, a message from another mate saying 30 seconds Aguero, and I thought, oh, what's the point? It's going to be a 6-0 jobbing.
But Man City seem to take the foot off the pedal and almost cruise through the rest of the half.
Complacent would be the word I would use.
Yes, very. Which I think it's something that we've seen in City before.
Well, it's the way that Palace got back into their games. Remember, they started fast
Certainly.
against Palace, and it fell away very quickly.
It's unusual that we haven't seen City kill off games like this against a team that at that point were in the bottom three.
Yeah.
And you think, well, the quality they've got, the quality and depth that they've got. Yes, Guardiola has been chopping and changing with players, trying to keep them rested and fit, but is it working? Are there too many changes?
Well, there's a huge chance with Sterling, which he fluffed, which he should have done better on. A good save keeper, but if that goes in, it's probably a very different story. I think he has been hampered of injuries a little bit, and I suppose even with the changes, you can't necessarily legislate for Fernandinho. He's been such a key part to this City winning team. We often praise him when we're doing this, and he gets praise all over the footballing community. Quite rightly so as well. And the game for me hinges on the fact that he makes a very uncharacteristic mistake when he's pressed on the ball.
Yeah, it was late on in the game and conceded that penalty that Matt Ritchie put away. Although there was some delaying tactics by Ederson.
Well, I thought that at the time. However, I have seen today that he may now be out for a couple of weeks. Ederson.
Really?
Yeah, I have seen he's now fresh. He's an actual injury concern for Manchester City now.
I didn't see what the injury was to do with.
No, it wasn't particularly clear on what they were treating. I've not had a chance to look into the story properly, but on the way up here I saw that was a fresh injury problem for City. And if it is, that could be very, very damaging to City's title credentials, because
I think Bravo is injured at the moment, and their backup goalkeeper is Muric, who's been playing in the cups.
Yeah, maybe he's not a bad backup, but
no. Guardiola after the match was very unhappy with how his team played. He said they were too slow, not aggressive enough, and they were losing most of the second balls.
Yeah, Newcastle, to use a cliche, Newcastle wanted it more.
Yeah.
They got some real noise behind them last in the stadium. The Geordies were proper up for this one. Rafa is just absolutely adored there, isn't he? He's absolutely loved by the Newcastle people and fans.
He knows how to set a team up as well, doesn't he? We've seen that in the various clubs that he's been at, whether that be in the Premier League, in Italy and in Spain. He knows how to set a team up against whoever he's playing, whether it's a top club or whether it's a club down the bottom.
Tactically, he's one of the best managers in the world.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. He masterminded Valencia to La Liga. That's where he sort of made his name. And he always had a plan, and he's always got a plan. And the fact Newcastle are out of relegation zone and have a good chance of staying up is pretty much down to him, because the squad's not great. Few good players. Rondon, I think, has been an excellent signing for them, and I think he could be one of the reasons they do stay up, because he's a bully. In the positive sense of the word, he's a bully. He causes problems. He's very good in the air. His hold-up play was excellent this game. Newcastle had a way out because they defended a lot of the game.
It has been in the last couple of games that he's played in, and he's playing to his strengths. Whereas you see other teams, they're not playing their strikers that they got to the strengths that they have.
No, but his hold-up play in particular was very, very impressive. And when Newcastle needed to get the ball out, he was there to hold it up and let them calm things down. I thought it was an exceptional game. Good signing. Yeah, I think he could keep them up.
There was one instant in the first half that could have had City going 2-0 up. A De Bruyne free kick that was taken quickly to Aguero, and Aguero put the ball in the back of the net. But it was chalked off for being taken before the whistle was blown, and De Bruyne was consequently booked for it.
From looking back at this, the referee clearly tells De Bruyne wait for the whistle, and he doesn't wait for the whistle.
Yep.
I saw the pundits who did the match afterwards, or doing it for BT, agreed. Robbie Savage was of the opinion that it should have been the referee's done the right thing, and so am I. He's clearly told De Bruyne, no, wait till I give you the signal. He plays it quickly, and I think the goal is correctly chalked off, and is probably a booking. Booking might be a bit harsh.
I was going to say, do you think it's right to be for a booking for that?
Well, in a way, I suppose it's a informal or unnatural, perhaps, show of dissent. The ref's told you to do something, and you haven't done it. Now, it's not very sportsmanship either. The referee's told you that wait for the whistle. He hasn't done. Yeah, I can see why he's been booked.
There have been a couple of incidences over the weekend where players have been booked for strange things.
Yes.
Maybe this is just another one of them.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps the yellow card's a little bit harsh, but I think the goal being chalked off is perfectly fair.
Yeah.
The ref made it abundantly clear what he was expecting, and he wasn't listened to.
Yes, certainly. One thing I did notice in the second half, Dubravka wasn't really challenged in the Newcastle goal.
No.
The attempts that Manchester City were having were from outside the box. They weren't doing what you would typically find from City, which is getting around the sides and getting the ball across the box.
No, well, I think you summed it up perfectly a bit earlier on. You said they were slow. They were too slow. The build-up play wasn't there. Cold night in Newcastle, fans against you. I just wonder if City wanted it enough. I think perhaps they thought that in the end their quality would tell. And I wonder if that harks back a little bit to the game last year where they were 0-0 for a long time. Newcastle set up to not concede, and I think it was around the 80th minute Aguero scored. They won the game 1-0. So I wonder if they thought again this was going to be similar to that. They'll get their goal eventually because they're Manchester City.
Obviously, with the matches that Manchester City have got coming up, they've got a lot of fixtures in the next 25-30 days, and against big teams as well.
Well, you're going to do us no favours whatsoever.
Oh, no, not at all. We don't plan to.
No.
I really don't care if we get beaten on, is it Tuesday?
Wednesday, I think.
Wednesday?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too bothered whether they beat us.
No. Arsenal could be an interesting one, because you don't know who you're going to get with Arsenal.
Yeah, they can turn up one day, get beaten by United, but turn up another day and beat Chelsea.
But then, of course, Chelsea also play City. Again, I don't know what to expect from that. Chelsea obviously beat City earlier on, the reverse fixture. I hope all three teams win.
And, of course, they've got their Champions League games.
Yes, well, to be fair, they'll win at a cancer. Schalke are in a very poor set of affairs.
Do you think they'll actually rest players during the Champions League games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This time round, yes, because they've got a favourable draw.
Yeah.
I expect Liverpool to rest against Bayern as far as possible as well. I think Klopp is focused solely on the Premier League.
Yeah. Hence why you went out the FA Cup.
Yeah, exactly. And I think while we've got to play in the Champions League, I think we'll see a few changes and tweaks in there. We'll see possibly Sturridge start one of those games, but we'll get to that a bit later on.
Well, moving on to probably one of the games of the week, Fulham against Brighton. Brighton went 2-0 up early on, 2 goals from Glenn Murray back on the score sheet after 8 games, I think. And then they turned off at half-time, and Fulham absolutely came out the traps and went on to score 4 in the second half, and Mitrovic was key.
Bonkers game, this one.
Mad.
When I saw that Brighton were 2 up, I was pretty much, that's done. Fulham are down.
We haven't seen Fulham fight this season like they did in this game.
No, absolutely not.
I wonder whether it's Ranieri getting into the players or the players realising at half-time that actually we're in trouble here, we need to do something.
Well, I thought Ryan Babel had an excellent game on this one. I think he's been quite a shrewd signing for them.
Yeah.
Adds a little bit extra. Mitrovic, if you give him the chances, he will score you a goal.
Yep.
And we've said before that he may well be the reason Fulham stay up, because he offers something that some of the other teams down there do not have, which is a double-figure striker.
Yeah.
You can't say the same about Cardiff. We'll obviously come on to the tragedy surrounding there. You can't say the same about Huddersfield. You can't really say the same for Southampton, really. But with Newcastle, with Rondon, Fulham, with Mitrovic, you have those 10 goals a season men, which may be the reason you stay in the Premier League.
Yeah, in the first half, Fulham only had one shot. That was it. And in the second half, they went on and almost peppered Brighton's goal.
Oh,
and
mad.
Certainly deserved to come out with the win.
Crossbars, saves. Yeah, I mean, you say Mitrovic gets his 2. He played very, very well. Fulham in the second half were a different team. They did play exceptionally well. Slightly concerning for Brighton. That's they're away at Fulham.
Yeah, but Brighton away from home, we know that they're not the same team as they are.
But if you turn up at half time,
you would expect to go through. And Chris Hughton wasn't happy with the way they were defending in the second half.
Well, it was very un-Chris Hughton like, was it? The way Brighton played in the second half. Chris Hughton's side tends to be strong at the back, have a good base, and then play to your strengths from there. Yeah,
both teams had only got 5 points from the last possible 24, so I think this was certainly more crucial for Fulham to win because of the position that Brighton are in at the moment. But that could have taken Brighton 10 points clear of the drop.
Yes, which would probably at this stage be enough.
Yes, certainly.
But as you say, Fulham had to win to stay in touch with the teams just outside the relegation zone.
Yeah, especially with obviously Newcastle winning. We'll go on to talk about Burnley getting the draw at United.
Southampton get a good point.
Yeah.
What this does do, that win, we'll come on to their match at the end, or towards the end, this, for me, effectively now relegates Huddersfield.
Yeah, you don't see much coming from Huddersfield at the moment.
No.
Moving on to possibly second biggest shock of the week, although we knew something was going to happen down on the south coast at Bournemouth, didn't we?
We did.
They ran out 4-0 winners.
Yeah, and what was bizarre about this one, it was 0-0 at half time, which was Bournemouth score all 4 in the second half. And the second half they tore through Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea, they're almost getting like a West Ham. You don't know which Chelsea team is going to turn up and what performance you're going to get out of them. I mean,
the game had gone completely differently because Higuain has a big chance in the first half, superbly saved by Boric. That's why he's in ahead of Begovic.
Yeah, Kante also had a chance, but Kante's not the player you want having those chances.
No, actually I thought Higuain played well. His movement was good, he had a couple of chances. I think he'll be better than Morata. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets to double figures before the end of the season.
Right.
I think... Yeah, he looked good. I was impressed. It's only the first appearance, but his link-up play was good. He was making the right movements, and 9 times out of 10 that goes in. It's a freakish save, really.
Yeah. Interestingly, Wilson didn't start. Wasn't in the squad.
No, he's out injured apparently.
How much you want to believe in that? Because he played last week, didn't he?
Yeah, but I think it's...
But there aren't any rumours tonight about him going there, especially now Higuain's there.
No, I think that anything that Wilson related to be in the summer, I think Bournemouth would refuse to sell him at this point as well. You can understand that as well from Eddie Howe's point of view, although their season is pretty much over, being out both the cups. But
yeah, they're one of those sides that can still get into Europe, and I think that's what they're going to be aiming for, because that would be a real success for them this season. And they're a team that's constantly on the up, and when you've got players like Brooks and King performing to their potential, then they're able to fight for those positions.
I thought Klein had a very good game as well, an excellent pass which led up to the third, which brilliant through ball. I'll come on to a bit more when we talk about Liverpool, when I get into my full rant mode. For Chelsea, I'm not sure what Sarri came out afterwards and said that, maybe I can't motivate these players. I mean, the wheels seem to be very much falling off already.
I think you're going to struggle to motivate your players when you go out in the press and say they're not mentally good enough. And when you're giving that opinion of them, yes, sometimes you might get a reaction, but the majority of the time, if a manager comes out and criticises his players, they're going to recluse, and they're going to there's going to be voids in the team, and there's going to be little cliques that try and go against the manager.
I think one of the problems is that he was brought in to play Sarri ball.
Yep.
And that's got to be the plan.
Which started at the start of the season, went really well.
But I don't think that works in the Premier League. I don't think Sarri ball works in the Premier League. It works in Italy, which is generally a slower league.
Yes.
But when Napoli, last season, the Champions League, when Napoli came against any of the teams that played higher tempo, they crumbled. They did a bit this season in the Champions League. They crumbled a little bit. I mean, they're unlucky not to go through in many ways, but they came against the high press of Liverpool, Paris, Saint-Germain's quick play, and Belgrade's quick movement across the pitch, and they lost out. And I don't think the Sarri ball suits the Premier League speeds. I think it's very easy to play against. I think initially when he came in, it shocked because it was new, which is why they had such a good run of results. I think people have worked out very quickly that if you sit on Jorginho or you sit on whoever's in that ball playing role, just get a lad and say, right, you go sit on him for the entire game. I don't do anything else. Sit on him. You break the flow.
Yeah, but yeah, Tottenham showed that when they came up against them. They were able to nullify the game, and then they could still play their own football minus a man.
It's also painfully obvious where Chelsea's weak points are, it's so easy to exploit them. You see David Luiz, anytime Luiz on the ball, pressure him.
Yeah,
whoever's within 10 yards, sprint at him because he's going to do something erratic.
Yeah, we all thought that he was this ball-playing centre-back and he would do well in like a defensive midfield role.
Yeah.
But since...
Because as defensive midfield, he's got someone behind him when he inevitably cocks up.
Yes. And being back in that centre-back position, they haven't got too many options, and he's almost being forced to play Rudiger and Luis every week.
Play Christensen. He was doing so well when he was...
Cahill. I know Cahill may have lost a yard of pace, but he's got the intelligence there to know where he needs to be, when he needs to be there. Yeah,
I don't understand that, I have to say. Also, if you're a team playing Chelsea, just shoot a Kepa because he doesn't hold much.
No, he made one good save, but it was very much right at him, and he didn't hold on to that. He punched that away.
I'm not overly convinced by him, I have to say.
No, but
I'm not writing him off completely, but
you could put him in the same category as when De Gea came into the league.
He's
going to have a wobbly, probably couple of first seasons, which De Gea did.
But on the flip side of that, Ederson and Alisson haven't had those wobbles. They came straight in and been sublime.
No, but they are slightly older.
That is fair.
I think Kepa's only 21 still.
Yeah. No, that's a fair rebuttal.
Which is mad to think that he's the most expensive goalkeeper in the world at that point.
Yeah, but I mean, Athletic knew that Chelsea needed a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So basically, we'll whack another 25 mil on what we think he's worth.
Certainly. Moving on now, it's rant time as we look at...
Sit back, listeners.
As we look at Liverpool Leicester, which finished 1-1 last night.
I messaged you, livid.
Early goal from Mane.
Yeah.
You all thought 3 minutes in, hey, looking good, take advantage of Man City getting beaten the day before. And then just before half time, Harry Maguire knocks in when your defenders have gone to sleep from a free kick. And in the second half, you didn't actually produce much.
Striker made one save.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is very much rant time for me now, and I've got a couple of things to rant about, so you might not get a word in for a few moments.
That's fine, I'll sit back and have a drink.
Good idea. So, we should have been 2 up. Firmino should score when it's a beautiful touch, beautiful bit of skill, and he should do better. Good save, Schmeichel, but he should do better. The goal I'm furious about, because it's such a stupid foul by Andy Robertson. There's no need.
Oh, yeah.
Ronaldo's caught up with him and dealing with it. There's no need.
He's just run into the back of him, hasn't he?
He's crossed because he lost the ball, Robertson. Yeah. He's lost and he's done with it. Yeah, he's got crossed and he's kicked out in frustration. But it's so stupid because he's going nowhere. Ronaldo's got back at him. Ronaldo was my man of the match, by the way. Anyone talk about him? I think he is superb. But yeah, we give away a free kick. Defend the first ball really well. Get it out. It's not bad. And then everyone goes to sleep. Excellent finish by Harry Maguire. I'm not going to get on Van Dijk's back too much for switching off there. I think he's earned one error considering how huge he has been. But my overall problems with last night were twofold in many ways. First of all, one opportunity we've wasted, and we didn't come unlucky in the sense that we peppered the goal and it just wasn't our night. We didn't create anything. We were very slow, we were lethargic, we were static. We couldn't seem to play any sort of tempo, high-paced balls at the top end. I'm not sure Naby Keita's ever played football before because he was abysmal all night. One tackle was about 10 years too late. He's frustrating me, and I think it's painfully clear now that Fabinho has to start for Liverpool. When he came on, he drove, he played attacking balls. Yeah, sure, they didn't all come off, but he was forcing the ball forward every time he got it in a way that Keita hasn't done. I really was upset with Keita last night. He's not worked out anywhere near like I'd hoped he would.
Do you think he should have had a penalty when he was brought down?
Yes, I think it's a clear penalty.
Yeah.
I think it's a clear penalty. He's gone to shoot. Okay, it's not his shooting foot that's been taken up. He's lost his standing leg. To me, it is a penalty. He scuffed the shot, yes, but to me, it is a penalty.
When I first saw it, I didn't think it was a penalty, and that's not just through bias against Liverpool.
No.
The angle that I saw it at, I thought he's just either mishit it or he's kicked his own leg. And then the more replays that I saw, you could see the foot come across in front of his left leg, but I'm still not convinced because I think he's off balance in the first place.
All I would say is that he had 2 touches beforehand which he should have shot from. He didn't need to keep going and narrowing the angle. But there we go. I thought he was quite poor, and I was very disappointed with him. Very impressed with Ronaldo and Fabinho. My other point is, and you know I've got a very love-hate relationship with Jordan Henderson.
Yes.
I'm not blaming
Everyone
him
does.
at all last night. I thought he was excellent considering it's not his natural position. He cut the ball out well all night. He used the ball well all night. Not got a problem with him at all. But how have we ended up in a position where Jordan Henderson is playing right back? We saw Klein shine for Bournemouth, and that's not the first time he's played well for Bournemouth since going there. Why has the club allowed Klein to go out on loan with Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's had an injury hit season and a form hit season? He's not been as good as he was last year.
No.
And you've got James Milner as backup, who is, I love him as a professional. I love him as a footballer. He's slow. He's lost half a yard of pace. We saw against Palace that he's not really a defender anymore.
No.
And he will be caught out. So why has Klein been allowed to go out on loan? If you sent Camacho out on loan to Bournemouth, I completely get that. I don't understand Klein going out on loan. I think he offers something more going forward as well than Henderson, because Henderson's not a winger.
No, I think the fact that Klein has gone out on loan because he wants that first team game time, and I don't think, knowing that Alexander-Arnold is probably your first choice right back.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But he's been injured a lot.
He has been injured a lot, but it still doesn't guarantee Klein the first team football, because Milner is arguably a better cover defensively than Klein is.
I disagree. I think Klein's better now because I think Klein's got the pace. The thing that sticks in my throat the most is that this was such a good chance. City won't lose many more games this season, if any. And we're no better off really, because if we've got the 7-point gap, effectively we need to lose 3 games. Effectively, City need to win those 3 games we lose. Before last night, we needed to lose 2 games.
Yeah.
After last night, we need to lose 2 games. So actually, we're no better off. We're no better off now than we were, apart from 1 point.
But that 1 point could be crucial at the end of the season.
It could be, but I think that when City offer you a gift like that, and you're at home, under the lights in Anfield, I'd say if we'd chucked the kitchen sink at it, we'd hit the post, we'd hit the bar. Schmeichel was, performing saves that his dad would have been proud of from the start. I'd go, right, do you know what? We gave everything tonight. It wasn't to be. But the fact we, as you say, we made 1 effort in the second half rather. Good save by Schmeichel. Firmino should score, but it's a good save. Leicester had the better chances in this game.
Yeah, you seem lacklustre. I don't know whether it was pitch conditions or...
No, I'll tell you what it was, because I don't know why Klopp's blaming the pitch. It's childish, to be honest. The reason is we never do well when we have a 10-day break. Historically, I don't see why we went away to Dubai. Van Dijk got sick while he was out there. I don't understand it. Stay at home, and I can't even put into words.
I can tell.
I don't understand how we're so slow and lethargic. That's what's irritated me the most, is how slow and lethargic we were.
On the flip side of it, Leicester, a draw for them, probably a good result.
Don't care. Leicester...
Probably a good result, especially with the position that Claude Puel is said to be in.
Yeah, Leicester deserve
it doesn't
a point.
take them into the top half,
No.
but they're level on points with a couple of other teams. Yeah. It keeps him there a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's
till the end of the season.
Yeah, it's a good point for Leicester. They played well, don't get me wrong. They had a game plan. It was quite boring to watch. They stuck 10 men behind the ball, but it worked.
Yeah.
They didn't really have a serious chance in the second half either, really.
Right.
Firmino's nearly scores an own goal. Excellent save by Alisson.
Yeah.
That could be crucial.
Alisson made a couple of good saves, although he was fairly lucky getting away from Vardy at one point in the first half.
Yeah.
It was an okay game to watch for the neutral.
I'm looking through my glasses, which was awful. Yeah. Just before we do move away from this game, just quickly, Harry Maguire obviously scored the equaliser.
Yep.
He had an excellent game, period. Him and Chilwell were very, very impressive. But should have been on the pitch. Incident in the first half, Evans misses the ball.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how he missed that ball.
Takes his half, it doesn't he?
Yeah.
And Mane is through, and Maguire clips his heels to stop him being through. And this is about on the halfway line.
I was going to say it's about 5 yards inside his own half. The ball
Maguire's
through.
booked.
The ball through is fairly hefty.
Yep.
Now there's a question to whether Mane will actually get there or whether Schmeichel will get there, which I think is in the referee's mind.
Yeah, I think Mane gets there first because of the speed.
And also, with the angle that the ball was travelling at, whether it's a goal scoring opportunity.
Yeah.
Because it was down into the channel, and so there's an argument that defenders are going to be able to make it back to the box in time, along with what the goalkeeper can provide.
I probably agree with you. It's quite sickening that it's Maguire that he equalises, but I think I'll probably agree with you. It's a long way out.
It is a long way out.
The pitch is slow and holding the ball up because of the conditions. As you say, he's not guaranteed to score. He's not clear for a goal. I think with his pace, he probably does get the ball first, Mane. But try and take my Liverpool hat off. I think a booking's correct.
I saw it more as a coming together.
No,
I think Maguire knows what he's doing. In that he wants to stop Mane getting there as quick as possible. But I think Mane's made the most of it by going over. I think he could probably have stayed on his feet, but he wouldn't have got there. So
it's all immaterial now.
I was going to say, if it goes for your team, then you're happy. If it goes against you, then
you're bloody miserable like this.
Yes. Anyway, moving down to London. And what did you say, 30-odd thousand that watched?
60-odd thousand empty seats from what I read.
Yeah, the 30-odd thousand that watched Tottenham against Watford.
Yeah.
A local derby. You'd expect more people to be there, considering it is within London.
Yep.
And a game that we foresaw Tottenham could have issues in.
Yep.
Watford went 1-0 up, and it was fairly late on in the second half where Tottenham came back and scored those 2 goals to get them the 2-1 win.
Crucial win for Tottenham after the week they've had.
Very much so, especially with Chelsea losing, Man United not being able to take advantage. It gives them that little buffer to...
City losing as well. They're now only 2 points behind City.
Yeah, it gives them a buffer also to the 3 clubs behind them.
Yeah, it does.
They're delighted to have Son back.
Oh, he was magnificent, wasn't he? They've missed him.
It makes them tick, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Watford went ahead through a corner. Tottenham just forgot how to defend.
Yeah, it was a scrappy goal.
Yeah.
Bundled in by Cathcart, I think.
It was indeed, yeah. And then Llorente missed a glorious opportunity. Good save by...
He's a yard out. It's almost Carroll-esque, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, all I would say, he's trying to get the ball over, his foot over the ball.
He's also trying to get it over Foster, who's right in front of him.
I can see how he's missed it more than perhaps Carroll missed his a couple of weeks ago, but at this level you'd expect him to score.
Yeah, he should do.
Kane scores.
Oh, definitely. I think Kane would have probably scored on the first chance in that little period of play. I think Kane would have got ahead with the defender.
Possibly.
But yeah, Tottenham dug themselves out, which they needed to.
Yes, this has been a very damaging loss if it had gone through.
Certainly, and they don't look like they can sign anyone in the window, which doesn't really surprise you if you're a Spurs fan. And they need Kane back as soon as possible if they've got any hope of beating Manchester City to second, and especially keeping in the top 4.
Yeah, I think they'll probably just about keep the top 4. I would like to predict who the 4th team is at the minute.
No. A slightly damaging result for Watford. They've been on a decent run.
Watford,
they're a bit of an up and down team.
They're in the Everton Cup.
Yes.
And they'll probably finish top 10, I thought.
Yeah, I think they'll finish 9th.
That's a good season for Watford, isn't it, really? Particularly if they get a cup run together as well.
Yep.
Into the next rounds. If they get a quarter final of the cup, 9th, that's a good season for Watford, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
With the players they have and the resource they have available, that's quite a good season for them, I'd suggest. So yeah, I think they're okay. I think that's good.
Well, there wasn't too much going on in the match either.
No,
there wasn't any iffy decisions, or it was a fairly drab match.
Yeah, Isaac's success having a go at the ball boy.
Yeah, the ball boy hanging on to the ball for too long when the Watford man wanted it back, ended up punching it out of his arms, and I think the referee goes over to speak to him about it.
Yeah.
We've seen it with Hazard, haven't we?
Yeah, Hazard
against Swansea.
Kicked the ball boy.
Yes, but the ball boy was laying on the ball.
Yeah, but I mean, even so, it's a child. You just kicked a child.
And you saw afterwards that the ball boy sort of like winked to the top of the
Yeah,
players.
he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
I don't have much sympathy. People make a mountain out of a molehill on this one. Isaac says it's cross because he wants the ball.
Yeah.
He's not done anything particularly out of line. He's not slapped the kid. He's not kicked him. He's not threatened him. He's knocked the ball out of his hands and probably trying to expletive off, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So
moving on to a much more exciting game, in my opinion. At Old Trafford, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer just keeps up his unbeaten record due to 2 very late goals from United.
It's a game they would have lost though a couple months ago.
Certainly. Finished 2-2 against Burnley. Burnley are almost back to the old Burnley that we know.
They are, and they're also Man United's bogey team. I know you're all about the stats, but in their 5 seasons in the Premier League, Man United have never done the double over Burnley.
Really? Didn't know that.
So they are a bit of a bogey team for them. However good this point is for Burnley, there must be part of Sean Dyche thinking they left a bit behind here, being 2 up with 10 minutes to play.
I know it's at Old Trafford, and I know the momentum that United have had, but when you've played so well, kept your structure so well for 85 minutes, and then they go and concede Hendrick concedes the penalty.
Any complaints?
I haven't actually seen it.
Right, I've not got any complaints.
Dyche wasn't too happy. It's an arm on the shoulder, I've heard. And
Dyche.
He's gone down easy, but in the modern day game,
it's one
if
of
you
those,
get touched in the box,
it's one of those that if that's happening to his player down the other end, he's screaming for a penalty.
Exactly.
So it's soft, but the law of the land and the way it is nowadays, it is a penalty.
But Dyche was fairly happy with the result. They're now unbeaten in 5.
Yeah.
They've pulled a couple of points away from the drop zone.
Yep. And
as I've said, they look like they're back to the Burnley of last season. More structure, better defensively, and it coincides with Heaton coming back.
Yes, the question I always ask when we get these sort of results in is how many of the teams down the bottom will go to Old Trafford and get a point?
Yeah.
And there won't be many. So that's a very, very good point for Burnley. 3 would have been magnificent.
Magnificent, yep.
But I think they will probably have enough to stay up now. I think that they're probably, they're going to have enough to stay in the division. I thought there's 3 worse teams than Burnley at this present time.
Yes. United were very slow in the first half. According to Solskjaer, he wasn't happy with how they started, and they showed more of what they're about in the second half.
Yes, they did.
Although they left it very, very late. Question of Fergie time, because Sean Dyche wasn't quite sure where the 5 minutes added on time
No, and I
came
can
from.
sympathise with him on that point actually, because I must admit I'm not sure where the 5 minutes comes from, but you've got to stay switched on for those 5 minutes. It's the Premier League.
So United unbeaten in 8 now. How long is the run going to go on?
Well, have you seen the fixtures coming up for them?
Oh yeah, it's fairly difficult, isn't it?
That's going to be a huge. February's a huge month for them.
Yeah.
But I suppose in many ways Solskjaer's got the beauty that he's under no pressure whatsoever.
I was going to say he's in a position where he's caretaker manager at the moment, and he's like, well, I've just come in to fill a gap.
Yep.
Or if they do really well, he's come in and stamped his claim on having the job full time.
Yeah. From his point of view, he's not going to get sacked for losing the next 6 games.
No.
So he's in quite that enviable position, I suppose, that he's there to the end of the season, and he can now play with freedom and go, right, let's see what we can do, because no one's really expecting anything from Manchester United. No one's really expecting too much from him, and they'll lose the game. They will lose the game. There's the old Manchester United defensive frailties were present in this one.
Yeah.
And I think better teams than Burnley, no disrespect to Burnley, but better teams, they play Liverpool, they play City in the coming weeks. Well, if you're Mane or if you're Sane, you must be looking at some of those defensive errors and rubbing your hands together.
As will Mbappe and Cavani.
Yes, but not Neymar, who's injured again.
No.
Missed the last 5.
5 seasons at this point.
That correlated with his sister's birthday. Conspiracy? What conspiracy?
Not too much more to say on that match.
No, I think a draw is probably fair in the end, to be honest. Both teams played well.
United probably... They really would have wanted the win before going into this match, because especially with the result that Chelsea had, they could have gone above them.
Yeah, but if you told a Manchester United fan that you're going to be 2-0 down with 5 minutes to play and you're going to get a 2-2 draw, they'd bit your hand off.
Yeah, certainly. Moving on to Wolves against West Ham now. I'm not sure West Ham played football this week.
No, it was
whether they turned up at all. Pellegrini wasn't too sure that they turned up either. He said it was impossible to play worse than they did.
There's no point making any more comments on this one, is there?
Yeah.
All I would say, very, 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 very important clean sheet for Wolves.
Yes.
That's been their Achilles heel. So chucked 3 at Leicester the week before.
Yep.
Chucked 2 at Shrewsbury. So it's very important that they got a clean sheet in this one. And you're right, West Ham didn't really turn up. Big blow to West Ham that Arnautovic taken off injured.
Yeah,
just signed his new deal.
Apparently he wasn't playing too well before that. He had one of those typical bad Arnautovic appearances. And as you said, he got injured, having just signed that new deal to confirm that he's going to be at the club till at least the end of the season.
Yeah, slightly surprised. Happy he stayed.
Yes.
Obviously Fellaini's gone to the Chinese Super League. I've got no problem with that.
No.
He's at he's got 2 years left, realistically.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be a Manchester United first team regular anymore.
Nope.
Now Mourinho's gone. Good luck to him. Good luck.
Fabianski was probably West Ham's best player.
Yeah, he has been regularly this season.
We say almost week in, week out. He was the one that kept it to only 3-0.
Yep.
And the 2 star performers for me, for Wolves, were Raul Jimenez, who's in on loan, scored 2 goals, along with Moutinho, Moutinho.
And Jota played well as well.
Who got 2 assists.
Yeah.
The key for Wolves at the moment are their wing backs.
Oh yeah,
Doherty and Johnny.
Who's just signed permanently.
Yeah, £18 million deal from Atletico.
Great.
They're key to getting Wolves both up and back on the pitch.
Yeah, very much so. West Ham, it's getting quite late in the window now. West Ham really need a striker for me.
You think so?
Yeah, we'll take Arnautovic out. Who's the striker?
Hernandez, Carroll?
I revert to my original question. Hernandez hasn't scored a goal outside the box in his professional career. Andy Carroll is Andy Carroll. Say you've now got the chance to sign those 2 at Everton.
I'd have Hernandez. I'd certainly have Hernandez because he could put the ball in the back of the net.
He can do. He doesn't do it very often.
The issue with West Ham, as Pellegrini has said, is there's not enough depth. They said they had 15 fit players for the game.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but they signed this time last year. They signed that Hugill, do you remember him? Hugill. I can't remember how you pronounce his name.
Josh Hugill.
Yeah, he's I mean that works well, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I think the West Ham team of this season, they've probably looked at the market and thought, are there any players out there that can actually improve our first team? I don't think there are.
Callum Wilson.
If Arnautovic had gone, then yes.
Okay.
Because I don't think they've got the money otherwise.
Peter Crouch, I'd argue, is a good signing for them. Great signing for Burnley. They've just obviously finished talking about them, but...
Finally, Wolves could have had a penalty as well.
Yep.
Masuaku brought down Doherty. I haven't seen the incident.
It's like Arsene Wenger tonight.
Yeah. But that could have just poured more misery onto West Ham last night if it had been given.
Yeah, I mean, as it turns out, this contentious penalty or non-penalty isn't really an issue. West Ham were comfortably beaten, well beaten, and Wolves, when they play like that, they're very, very good.
They are, and that's the reason that they're 7th in the league at the moment.
Indeed. Sad evening at the Emirates for Arsenal, who beat Cardiff 2-1. Obviously, tributes pouring in throughout the game to Sala, sorry.
Yeah,
it's not much we can really add to this, is it? It's a tragic event.
It was Cardiff's first game since the crash.
Yeah. Or suspected crash, we should say.
Yeah, so it's a freak accident.
Suspected freak accident.
You can't account for it in any way.
No.
But I think the way that Cardiff dealt with it, the way that none have dealt with it, has been very humble.
I thought Arsenal showed a good side of class as well. He was printed on the programme.
Yes. He was named at the bottom of the programme, which is something that you would expect from Arsenal, the type of club they are.
Yeah,
they are showing their class.
There's only small things you can do, but it's a nice little small gesture.
Yep.
I'm not sure we can really add much more to the Sala news. It's terribly sad. Moving on to the football, that's what we're here to talk about. Quite a dull game. Cardiff perhaps could have got a point on another night.
Fairly dull. Warnock suggested that this was their best game of the season, and I wonder whether that was because they were playing with that emotion.
Yeah.
In the first half, Arsenal were poor.
Yeah,
Arsenal were very poor in the first half. But at half time, Unai Emery made a substitution, brought Alex Iwobi on, and Emery's very good at noticing what's wrong and making that change.
He is very good
when it's needed.
Yeah.
I can't recall how many half-time substitutions he's made this season, but he's one of the highest in the league.
But they normally work.
And as you say, they do normally work. In this game, it looks like they have. Obviously, Aubameyang had the penalty, and Lacazette got the second.
Yeah.
And then there was a late goal by Mendes-Lang for Cardiff.
Yep. So on another night they could have got a point. They didn't play badly, Cardiff. They played fairly well.
Cardiff actually had more shots than Arsenal in the game.
Yeah.
However, only 2 of those 19 shots were on target, which is where the problem is at Cardiff.
I was going to say, without trying to sound trite or flippant or anything like that, they need a striker.
Yeah.
And also they haven't got one.
No. Warnock wasn't very happy with one of his defenders, Ekule Magna. He made a tackle in the first half, and he also gave away the penalty.
He did, and as I said at half time,
Warnock said at half time to him, "Don't give away those stupid fouls." And then in the second half, he goes and gives away the penalty.
Yeah, I think Warnock knew that they got away with one in the first half.
Yes.
And he said at half time, as I said, look, just watch yourself for these. And then, as you say, foolish tackle. Aubameyang's a very good player, isn't he?
Oh,
He's an excellent player.
He's excellent, isn't he? I think he's fastest in recent history, Arsenal history, to get to 25 Premier League goals.
Yep.
Faster than Henry, faster than Ian Wright. That's when you know you've got a good player on your hands.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that he's 28 now?
Yeah, I think he might even be older than that, actually.
And if he'd come to the league sooner, then he may have taken a couple of other records.
Yeah, he's flirted with the Premier League for a couple of seasons, hasn't he? I know Liverpool have been heavily linked for a couple of seasons. And Huddersfield lost again, and that, for me, we mentioned it briefly earlier, this probably now officially, obviously not officially, but in my eyes officially relegates Huddersfield. They're not staying in this division. No. They don't create enough, they don't score enough, they don't look... I mean, it's hard to see them scoring a goal again, let alone winning another football match.
Well, obviously this was Jan Siewert's first game for them.
Yep.
And he said in the post-match conference that his team did create chances in this match. There were a couple of fantastic saves that Pickford made.
Yeah.
And on another day, they might go in.
Yeah.
And against another team, they might go in. Which, it's good that they're creating the chances, but they're lacking that forward that, as we said earlier, is going to go out and get a double figure worth of goals.
As I mentioned earlier, you look at Newcastle, you look at Fulham, and you say they've got a 10-goal a season man in that squad. You look at Huddersfield, I think they've got a 5-goal a season man in the squad. Probably not.
Really. So Richarlison's early goal in the 3rd minute gave Everton the 1-0 win.
Yeah, Leicester unlucky, but it's a very good stop of the first effort.
Yeah.
And then stood still.
Can't do anything with the second one. It comes back to him too quickly.
Yeah.
Pickford made some excellent saves, one from a free kick that was given away courtesy of Digne.
Yep.
Having only been on the field 11 minutes, then gets sent off.
Yeah, I'm in two minds about Digne on that one.
First of all, it's his error to let the player in behind him.
Yes.
Which obviously he's trying to make up for. And then he concedes a free kick rather than a penalty. So in that way, I can see why he's done it. Because I think if he goes in one-on-one with Pickford, he'll score.
But my flip argument to that is that you look where he's brought him down. He's got time to get goals. He's got time to get goal sign on him.
Arguably, yes.
You know what I mean? It's not like the Maguire one where it's at the top of the pitch.
Yeah.
We discussed earlier on. Digne is on his heels that far out of the penalty area. Digne's not slow. He's got time to get back and get goal side, or at least start, pushing him wide. But as you say, I suppose you only have a split second
to think about it.
Yeah, and as you say, what's the lesser of two evils? A penalty or a free kick. Although, of course, he did get sent off, and that is going to cost him 3 matches because of straight red.
Yep.
And it means that Everton has to play obviously a fair while of 10 men. So.
And it also cost both of us in our fantasy teams this week.
I don't want to talk about that. It's been a crap week for that.
Obviously, Digne had only been on 11 minutes because Baines was injured, had a rib injury, unsure whether he'll be fit for the weekend fixture, which is a concern because we haven't really got any other cover at left back.
No, Holgate, is he out on loan now? He's at West Brom, isn't he, on loan actually?
Yeah, he's out on loan. There's the possibility of either John Joe Kenny playing left back or Brendan Galloway because he's been playing fairly well for the under-23s.
Pennington's still in your books, is he out somewhere?
He's out on loan as well.
Right.
But yeah, not looking good defensively unless we play 3 at the back against Wolves, which I wouldn't suggest is a good idea.
No.
No.
The window is almost shut. Just a guy and a Gay going to be with you still? Is he off to PSG?
I believe he's staying.
Because PSG need midfielders.
PSG do need midfielders. However, the reports that I've heard, some saying that Silva has said that he'll resign if Gay gets sold from behind his back.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But I think the price that's being offered for Idrissa is just not high enough.
What are the figures?
I've heard between 22 and 30 million.
Yeah, he's an ageing player.
He's 28 now, but I still think he's nearly a £40 million defensive midfielder.
35 men, I'd say.
Just because of his stats this season.
Yeah,
certainly since joining Everton.
I'd struggle to, agree he's only worth 20 mil. I'd struggle with that. But
one good news story for Huddersfield, Aaron Moy came back from injury, being key to their early part of the season. He was the one that produced that save from Pickford from the free kick.
My shoulders shrugged for the listener there. It's all come. I think they could sign Messi at this point. Huddersfield, they're not getting out of this. It's too late.
But on the whole, it wasn't actually a great Everton performance, and Silva admitted that.
But it's a win away from home at the minute. The final game of the midweek fixtures saw Southampton take on Palace in a fairly drab 1-1 draw. Nothing to really discuss on this one apart from
a few controversies.
Yeah, Zaha, we'll start with him, scored a goal.
Yep, well taken. Nice finish.
And then gets a bit silly towards the end.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, looking at the pictures, Ward-Prowse done anything particularly to wind him up. Perhaps he's won a throw when it maybe should have been Palace's, or perhaps he's used.
Well, I think Zaha believes it should have been a free kick against him, courtesy of Ward-Prowse challenging for the ball. And then I think
it's never a free kick.
No. And then I think that Ward-Prowse says something to him, and he raises his hand to the back of his neck, saying like, "Come on."
Yeah.
And Zaha really doesn't like that, and
pushes
his arm away and gets booked for that.
Which is charged from Zaha, because Ward-Prowse has extended you an olive branch.
And then he applauds the referee for booking him and gets booked again, and it's a stupid second yellow.
It's a stupid second yellow. And Hodgson must be furious, because Palace are slowly being dragged into this.
Yeah.
Slowly. They're sleepwalking a little bit into this. And now Zaha, a key player, is going to be missing. So for a week, because it's 2 yellow cards.
It's one game.
But he's your star man. You've got to be better than that.
Yeah, you have.
I'm just on a side note, I said to you earlier when we were preparing for this, I'm so happy to see Ward-Prowse back in the Southampton team. I don't know what Hughes was smoking to decide that Ward-Prowse deserved to be left out of the team. I'm very glad that Hassan Hoodle,
bless you,
thank you, has seen sense and restored Prowse to the team. Good play.
He's got a couple of goals since Hassan Hoodle's come in, and he's had a resurgence under him, like many of the Southampton players.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, that is the extra time board's gone up. We are into the added time into the first half, which means it's time for Team of the Week, Villain of the Week, Combined 11 of the Week, and Player of the Week. Thank you.
Combined 11 this week. I've gone for a 4-3-3.
As have I.
So in goal, I have Pickford, purely for the couple of saves that he made, kept us in the game, won us the game effectively. Yep. Back four of Doherty from Wolves, was an outlet always for them and created a couple of chances. Maguire for scoring the goal against you. Anyone who scores a goal against Liverpool,
Brilliant.
always in my good books. Lindelof for rescuing United.
Yep.
And Charlie Daniels of Bournemouth for getting that flick-on header that
Yeah, lovely head that.
Kepa should probably done better with.
I don't think he's expecting it. I can, excuse him for that.
My midfield three are Brooks, who had an excellent game for Bournemouth,
Yep.
as did Moutinho for Wolves, and Kearney, who came on half an hour into the game for an injured Tim Ream, I believe, and almost changed the game for Fulham. And then a front three of Mitrovic, Jimenez and King, who were all pivotal in their games.
Yep, I've gone for Boric in goal. Bournemouth have changed goalkeeper and are getting positive results.
Not a fan of Begovic, are you?
As a person, very much so. As a keeper, he's been very poor this season.
Yep.
And that save from Boric, from Higuain, yeah, outstanding. Back four of Chilwell. He was magnificent for Leicester. Really was. Got several excellent blocks, in particular towards the end when Liverpool were chucking things forward. In the same vein, Maguire gets the goal.
Yep.
He defends very well. Lindelof, as you say, rescues Manchester United. I've gone Nathaniel Klein as well. I thought he was very good for Bournemouth. Good attacking out there. We'll come back to Liverpool. Midfield three of Brooks, Moutinho and Wijnaldum. Brooks and Moutinho as the reason you gave. Wijnaldum was one of the very few bright sparks of that game period.
Yep.
As a ball-playing midfielder and a player who wins back the ball, he is excellent. He's really shining this season. Out front, Mitrovic, King, Rondon. Yeah, those three are the biggest reasons as to why their teams all won this week.
Yeah, certainly. Who is your team of the week? I think we agree on this one.
Yeah, team of the week's Newcastle.
Yeah.
For me, big shout out to Bournemouth, but if you're beating the defending champions in the way you did,
yeah,
you're going to be my team of the week.
Yeah, kudos to Benitez and how he set up, as we said in the review of their game. You need big performances from your players as well.
You absolutely do, and they to a man stepped up. They obviously bought into what the gaffer wanted from the game, and played very well.
Yep, certainly. Who was your villain, or who is your villain of the week?
Villain of the week is Liverpool. You've been given an absolute gilt-edged chance by Manchester City to get 3 points. A team that don't lose many games or don't drop many points, and to put it plainly, you've absolutely jessed it. You've completely messed it up. As I said in the review, if we had chucked everything at it and we just gone, do you know what? No, it wasn't meant to be. But no, we were poor. Didn't approach the game in the right attitude at all. And I want to win the bloody league.
Yeah, but Liverpool fans are going to be unbearable if they win the league.
And you know what, I hate this notion. Any fan is going to be unbearable when they win the league. Or do you think City winning back-to-back is going to be bearable, do you? No, rubbish.
Anyway, my villain of the week is Zaha, just for the sheer stupidity that he got himself sent off in. Yes, I can understand you're frustrated you didn't get the decision. And the dissent show, the first yellow card for either pushing Ward-Prowse or the dissent shown there, just walk away after that.
Yeah.
There's no need.
Don't get dragged in.
Yeah. Don't go back to the referee and be so sarcastic by clapping him for his decision and then get another stupid yellow.
Yeah. No, I can get behind you on that one, 100%.
And finally, who's your player of the week?
Player of the week is Harry Maguire for me. Obviously got the goal, got the equaliser, and just played very well. Was an absolute rock at the back. I don't think he's particularly to blame for Mane's goal. He gets done by the bit of skill from Mane. To be fair, looking back at it, I'm not entirely sure anyone got done by it. It was a very weird touch by Mane.
Touch, yeah.
Clever touch, but very weird touch. I don't know if the pitch helped out a little bit there. But I think otherwise he was very good.
My player is Mitrovic.
Understandable.
Just because the performance that he's put in the second half, the team have played to his strengths, got the ball out wide, he's got the 2 goals for them.
Yep.
And he's going to be pivotal if Fulham stay up, and that's a big if.
Right, well that's half time. The referee's whistle has sounded. The players are making their way to the changing rooms, which gives them time to do Statman Sam and the fantasy football.
My fantasy football didn't go quite as planned this week.
I don't think anyone's did particularly.
The average this week was 42. I got 43.
Very good.
So you can possibly see that as a positive.
Yeah, above average. I got 50.
Obviously, the downside was Digne getting sent off.
Yep.
And the two star performers in my team was Pogba and Aguero. Aguero for the goal, and Pogba because he was my captain. That's pretty much it. The rest of the team didn't do overly well.
No. For me, I had again mixed bag. Digne let me down big time. Fabianski got me 3, so that was okay.
Yeah, same.
Aubameyang and Llorente both got me points. I made the big call to bring Llorente in as soon as Kane was injured, knowing he'd have to play.
Despite his own goal against Fulham.
Yeah, that was a low point for me. And likewise, Captain Pogba, quite happy that I did. Sala was non-existent in our game, unfortunately.
No, he was poor.
Yeah, he was. Defensively was poor as well. You don't expect to be getting 3 from Robertson, Digne and Shaw.
Really?
That's my back 3.
Wow.
2 for Robertson, -2 for Digne and 1 for Shaw.
Yeah, I had Holobas back there and he got me 3.
Yeah, so I'm quite disappointed in that, but there we go.
Stat of the week with Statman Sam.
So my stat of the week this week is that Cardiff are the only side in the English Football League not to have been leading at half-time this season. That's 26 games, which I can't quite believe. It's a bit like the stat at the start of the season that Arsenal hadn't been leading at half-time for God knows how many games. 18, was it?
I can't remember exactly, but I still can't believe that Tottenham haven't had a draw yet either.
Yeah. That
Bizarre
is
bits and
amazing.
pieces going on.
And a small little caveat that all the leaders in the top 5 English leagues all begin with the letter L.
They do. Liverpool, Leeds,
Luton,
Lincoln, Leyton Orient.
Leyton Orient. I wasn't sure who the 5th one was.
There you go. Right, well, it's time for the second half then. The predictions, and we'll go through last week's another time. We'll update the table and get that up on the socials. We'll just go through them in order then. So the early kick-off on Saturday sees Tottenham host Newcastle.
Yes, at Wembley.
At Wembley, as you say. Newcastle going off the back of a good result, shall we say?
Yes, but
away
from home they're not quite as good, are they?
But Tottenham have got key men out.
Yes, you're almost guaranteed a goal, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd agree. I'm going to go on this one, I think 1-1. Tottenham haven't impressed me for a couple of weeks now. Yes, they got the job done against both Fulham and Watford.
But they were lucky.
And I think Newcastle are tactically better than both of those two teams.
Yes, yeah, and of course Newcastle have signed Almiron.
Yep, if he plays, that'd be interesting. If he doesn't play, Rondon. I don't think anyone wants to play Rondon unless you're a really big centre back yourself, maybe like Van Dijk-esque kind of player. You don't want to become against Rondon. So yeah.
You're going for 1-1?
Yeah, I'm going 1-1.
I am going to go for a 2-0 Tottenham win.
Brighton are at home to Watford. Two teams sort of mid-table-esque. Both doing fairly well.
Yeah, they're in different form. Brighton at home, you know what you're going to get with Brighton. Watford, less so.
Yeah.
Depends which side turns up.
2-1 Brighton for me.
Yeah, 2-1 Brighton.
Yeah, I think they'll just have enough.
I'm going to go 1-1.
Yeah, no, I think you could literally... This is on a coin toss, this game. Burnley host Southampton. Big game down the bottom. You really do feel that whoever wins that one really does drag themselves out of it for a couple of weeks at least.
Yeah.
Burnley, as you say, getting back to...
On a good run, 5
Burnley
unbeaten.
last season. Yep, looking good. Southampton, different team. Different team with Hasenhüttl.
Massively different. Are Burnley going to score enough? Obviously, they've got... Vokes has gone on to Stoke on a permanent deal. Crouch has come in.
Good deal.
It gives them a different option, certainly. But will Burnley have enough at home against Southampton? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I think their run will come to an end, but it will only be a 1-0 Southampton win.
I'm going to go 2-0 Southampton. I fancy on this one. I'll be very impressed with the job Huddersfield's doing. Chelsea host Huddersfield. Yes, they've had problems, Chelsea, in recent games, but this could be a case of how many.
I was going to say this should be a done deal, shouldn't it?
I'm going big. I'm going 6-0 Chelsea.
Wow.
Huddersfield away from home. Chelsea got a point to prove. How I'd look at this game surely and go, yeah, let's get a hat-trick here.
I'm going to go for 3-0 Chelsea and Higuain to score.
Yeah.
I think he'll get his first goal against Huddersfield.
Yeah. If you are Higuain, you couldn't really pick a better team to play, could you? For your second game. Crystal Palace host Fulham in a sort of London derby. That's a big game as well.
Yeah, this is certainly crucial down at the bottom. I think if Palace can get a win here, then same as Burnley or Southampton, they can pull themselves away from it again for a couple of weeks.
But equally, if Fulham can get the win here, they're right back into the contention to stay up.
Certainly. Fulham, they're going to be buoyed enough by the 4-2 win?
Away from home, I'm going to say no.
Palace haven't been particularly good at home though.
Fulham have been a particularly good period.
True.
I'm going to go 1-1, I think, on this
go
one.
1-1.
Yeah, obviously Palace will be without Zaha.
Yeah.
But I think Townsend will cause trouble in the same way Babel will cause trouble. I think they'll cancel each other out 1-1.
I'm going for a 2-1 Fulham win, and I think Mitrovic is going to be pivotal again. I think that Palace goal will probably come from either a set piece or a penalty.
Fair enough. You host Wolves.
Oh dear.
What Wolves side's going to turn up?
I hope no Wolves side is going to turn up because I'm worried.
Yeah.
Defensive frailties, set pieces they're fairly good at.
And you're not very good at
and
defending.
we're awful at.
No recognisable left back as we discussed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't see it's going anywhere. I think Wolves win this one.
By how many?
I think 3-1.
Right.
I think you score.
Yep.
But I can see Wolves playing you on the counter attack and just I really do.
I think we're going to lose actually. I think we're going to lose 2-0. Unless Tosin, if he starts playing Tosin up front, which he did in the last game, then I don't see where our goals are coming from.
No. The late kick-off on the Saturday, not particularly inspiring. Cardiff hosting Bournemouth. It's a big game for Cardiff at home. These are the sort of games they need to pick up points in.
Very much so.
Bournemouth not as good on the road as they are at home.
No.
But I think their attacking movement will be too much for Cardiff.
Especially after the confidence they would have got from beating Chelsea 4-0.
Yeah, I'm going 2-0 Bournemouth on this one.
Cardiff at home, I can see them scoring like they did against Arsenal.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for 3-1 Bournemouth.
2-0 to Bournemouth. I think that's have too much. Moving on to the Sunday games. Leicester host Manchester United. Leicester will of course take confidence from the 1-1 draw at Anfield. Manchester United showed their defensive frailties a little bit with their going 2-0 down with home to Burnley. Interesting, isn't it? Difficult one, this.
Leicester are one of those teams this season which they'll go out and have a good performance and the next game they'll just drop off.
Yeah.
And I can see them just dropping off in this game and United fairly comfortably winning this.
No, I see a 1-1 draw. I see it just fizzling out, this one.
I think United are going to win 3-0.
Fair enough.
I think Martial and Rashford are going to combine. Martial's just signed a new 5-year deal.
The big game on Sunday sees Manchester City host Arsenal. This is a potentially massive game in terms of the title.
Very much so.
Arsenal against the Big Six, generally not very good, but have beaten Chelsea and Tottenham this season.
Yeah.
Fell apart against Liverpool. Got a point against United.
Unai Emery's tactically adept and able to change when the scenario needs it.
City not great at the back. Aubameyang and Lacazette must fancy it.
Yeah, certainly. Do you think they'll both start?
No.
No?
Aubameyang on his own.
Okay. I think they will both start. I think Arsenal might go out and try and win this early on.
I think they try and win it, but
because they'll have seen how Newcastle have been able to get at them, and other teams have been able to get at them, and I think they'll be best off going out the trap fast.
I think Ozil starts this one.
Well, he captained, didn't he, at the weekend?
I think he starts this one.
In the week.
That's why I don't think Lacazette starts. I think Ozil starts behind Aubameyang as a 10.
Okay.
And drifts.
What score are you going for, though?
2-2. I think both teams score.
2-2?
I think both teams score. But at the minute, we're back either team to win.
Okay. I am going for a 3-1 City win.
Wow. You think City?
Yeah, I think they're going to get a rocket up their backsides from the performance against Newcastle,
Yep.
and it wouldn't surprise me if Gabriel Jesus starts
No.
over Aguero because he's been in better form.
I'd agree. Monday night sees West Ham host Liverpool at London Stadium. I don't like this game. West Ham been a bit difficult for us in recent seasons.
Yeah, especially as they're at home and they'll be looking to bounce back off that disastrous defeat in the FA Cup against Wimbledon.
Yeah.
And the 3-0 loss against Wolves.
We don't play very well Monday nights either.
No, you don't tend to, do you?
I think West Ham win this 2-0. It pains me to say it.
I can see this being a draw. I think 2-2.
I think if City win as well, we'll even more so crumble. And then suddenly that 5-point gap becomes 2. And what a great point last night's turned out to be. And finally, this sort of midweek fixture.
A bonus game this week.
Brucey bonus.
Yep.
I expect you to do us
Certainly could be.
no favours whatsoever as Everton host Manchester City. Manchester City to win 17-0 because you'll play kids and not.
I was going to say we can put out Doris from down the road at number 72 in goal.
Probably
And
taller than Pink.
I don't think we'll roll over. I honestly don't think we'll roll over. We will give them a competitive game.
Do you believe that, or are you just telling yourself that?
No, but it won't be our first team. It won't be all our first team anyway.
City win this one 4-1.
I think City only win 2-0.
I want Everton to win with all my heart. I'll be, essentially wearing an Everton shirt on that night. but-
I can let you borrow one if you want.
No, because if I thought you were going to try, I'd take it seriously, but Right, well, we're into the added time at the end of the second half then. It's just time to touch on AOB before closing the show. What's your AOB this week?
I'll let you go first because I'll be rounding up the transfer news so far with 2 hours left in the window.
Fair enough. Going over old ground a bit, really. The FA Cup.
Yes.
I don't understand teams' approaches to it. I'm lost, Sam. I'm really lost. Everton go out to Millwall
Yeah, don't mention that.
dreadfully. Played absolutely abysmally.
Just don't. We don't need to. Don't need to hear it, really, do we?
And West Ham gets spanked by AFC Wimbledon. I don't understand why either team put out such a weak side.
Both of them played off the park. We didn't put out an especially weak side either.
Well, no, actually, that's true.
It was just shocking from us.
It was shocking West Ham as well. I don't understand why the cup isn't taken seriously by these teams. And I don't want to bang on, but you're playing in the Everton Cup. It's not a real trophy.
Yep.
Go for the FA Cup, please. I don't understand why teams don't. It makes me cross. There will be occasional reasons as to why going at the FA Cup is acceptable and a good thing. I think Liverpool had an excuse to go at the FA Cup this year.
Yep.
I think if Cardiff had an excuse to go at the Fulham had an excuse to go at the FA Cup. They've got bigger fish to fry.
Yes.
But there's a lot of teams, and Everton included, their season are essentially pointless. What's the point to Everton's season now? What's the point to West Ham's season now?
Do you see someone outside the top 10 in the Premier League winning the FA Cup this season?
Not outside the top 10, but outside the top 6, certainly. The draw's really opening up for a team like Palace.
Or Wolves if they can get past Shrewsbury.
Which they should do at home.
Which they should do, yeah.
But you're looking at it, you're thinking, if you're Palace or you're Wolves, this is really opening up now. You're going to have another of the big six fall because of the way it's been drawn. Chelsea
against United.
Liverpool, Arsenal already out.
Yep.
Tottenham out. Everton, who are a good cup team, out.
Yeah, West Ham out.
If you're looking at this in your Palace, you have to start thinking that if the draws go your way and they've managed to avoid, City, Liverpool so far, the draws opening up, and I hope Palace have a run at it. I'd love Roy Hodgson to win it. I would, genuinely. He's not got long left in football.
Jeez, you're trying to kill him off.
He's not got long left, has he? Let's be honest. He's in his 70s and he's not got much long left in the game.
Yeah.
I'd quite like him to go out and win an FA Cup. I think I don't think his tenure at Liverpool was particularly successful, but I don't wish him any ill. I think he's a relatively nice chap, and I'd quite like him to win something. And Palace, are taking it seriously. They signed to put against Tottenham, said we are taking this seriously.
I think it would commend Wolves' season better because of what they have achieved in the short period of time.
Yeah,
and I think Nuno Espirito Santo is the kind of manager that would love his team to go out and do that.
Yeah,
from where they've come from last season.
I'd like to see a non-top 6 side win it. I really would. I think that is more than possible. And the way, as I understand why West Ham and Everton didn't look at that and say, if they got through that round, they had a real chance to go further in.
Yeah. Ironically, if we'd have both won our ties, we'd have been playing each other. West Ham and Everton. But there we go. All you've got to say?
Yeah, teams
still frustrated on it.
Just take the FA Cup seriously. I say that there'll always be the teams that have a reason not to, and I understand that. I'm not saying that every team should be forced to take it seriously.
Yeah.
Watford is in, of course. They've got a chance as well.
Yeah.
But I say there's teams here that really have the chance to win the cup, who really for some reason won't take it. Final point on this: I'd like to see replays got rid of altogether. I know it's good money earner for the smaller clubs, and for Shrewsbury it's brilliant, but
I can understand having replays in the earlier rounds.
Up to and including round 3. After that,
I would have it up to including round 5, because then you're getting into the business end of the season after that.
Thing is though, that if you want teams to take the cup seriously, adding an extra game because you couldn't win the first round means you're less likely to take it seriously.
Go out and win the first time round.
Yeah, but that's not all.
The proper team.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but that's not always possible to a point. Some teams do go out and they can't win the game. So test it there and then on the night.
Yeah.
Penalties, whatever. Let's go to extra time as a concept from every possible angle of football. It doesn't work. It's silly. Go straight to penalties. Do you enjoy extra time?
It depends on the game. If it's like a lower league team against a big team and it's all defensive and stuff like that and you're waiting for the big team to score, then not as much. But when it's a competitive game and they're both going at each other trying to win it in extra time, then it makes for a great spectacle.
Yeah, but they go at it for the first 5-10 minutes, then accept that they can't make a mistake and play for penalties. So if you're going to play extra time, every 5 minutes, one of your player, each side should lose a player.
Until how many?
So it's 5 aside.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that those 5 players left had got the energy after 110 minutes of football.
Yeah, that's why. Or okay, after every 7 minutes, a line is released onto the pitch. Anything to make it more interesting. I hate extra time.
Right,
your turn.
My turn. So I'm going to go through the Premier League and any other notable transfer deals that have gone through.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, there's less than 2 hours left till the deadline closes. So a quick run through. Obviously, we said earlier, Johnny, who's on loan at Wolves at the moment, signed on a permanent deal for a fee believed to be between 15 and 18 million pounds.
Yes, yep.
I think that's an excellent signing for Wolves. He's played wonderfully for them this season, and it shows the club that he wants to be there. He wants to be in the Premier League.
Shows good intent from Wolves as well.
Yes. Newcastle probably had the best business of the day, signing Miguel Almiron from Atalanta in the MLS for a club record fee, finally, of between 20 and 21 million pounds.
It's crazy that 10 years ago Owen was their record.
Yeah.
It has been since.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
I've read rumours that Benitez has helped fund this. I don't know how true they are. I wouldn't necessarily believe everything you read on the internet.
No.
But there's suggestion that Benitez may have helped fund this transfer to try and get it through, but I don't know.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if there have been promises made to him by Mike Ashley or
no, I don't think there have
what's
been.
happening around the club being sold and the lack of investment.
I think the only reason Benitez is still there is because he respects the fans too much to leave.
Another signing they have also made is Antonio Barreca. The Italy under-21 international has signed on loan from Monaco with a optional deal of about $7.5 million in the summer. Monaco in this window, wow. Have they gone down the hole or what?
Well, they know I think they know the game's up. They've signed Nkudu.
In the last 3 transfer windows, they've made nearly £500 million,
To line the owner's pockets with.
and the investment seems to have gone nowhere.
But they've not had anyone in charge. They've trusted in charge, have they, to spend the money? I mean, Henry.
No, there were questions over the director of football that they had, and he was consequently dismissed when Henry was also dismissed.
Yeah.
What else have we got? Monaco involved with Leicester. Yuri Tielemans, 20-year-old Belgian international, very promising young player.
Very promising.
Has gone on loan to Leicester, with Adrian Silva going the other way. Obviously, Adrian Silva, I believe, only signed in the summer for them.
Yeah, it's not gone particularly well. Mind you, he had that weird limbo, didn't he? Whereas
he was effectively signed this time last year. But the paperwork didn't go through until the summer.
Yep.
And to be fair, he hasn't had very many games and he hasn't fitted in, so I can understand why he's gone the other way. But I'm excited to see Tielemans in the Premier League.
Yep, I am too.
Stoke and Burnley have done a little bit of swapping business.
I had no idea that Sam Vokes had been there that long at Burnley. I thought he was a fairly recent signing.
12 years?
Yeah, I thought it was a fairly recent signing.
No. He's a Burnley stalwart, but no longer. He's gone on to Stoke for about £7 million, and consequently Peter Crouch has come the other way at 38 years of age.
But lad, I'm so glad he's back in the Prem. I love Crouchy.
If anyone's listened to his podcast, they have been excellent.
Yeah, he would really have. And do you know what? He'll do a job at Burnley.
Yeah,
he'll score. He'll score goals. He'll score goals.
Cardiff have done a little bit of business. Leandro Bacuna obviously was in the league with Villa before.
Yep.
He has come in for an undisclosed fee, obviously looking at cover for either midfield or especially right back for Cardiff. So I think Premier League experience is good, and it could be a good signing for Cardiff.
Yeah.
He certainly gives them more strength in depth. And Brighton have signed a couple of players that I've never heard of.
No, I must admit, I'm not going to sit here and stress that I am an expert on Tudor Christian Beluta, but
I've heard of Maribor, which is the team that one of them's come from, but even with the amount of hours that I've played on Football Manager, I don't know who they are.
No. Dennis Suarez to Arsenal on loan for the rest of the season as well.
Oh, yeah. Which I can't understand why they've signed him, because they were also linked with Perisic and Carrasco. They don't need any more attacking players, in my opinion. They need to be looking at the defence.
I'd have taken Carrasco if the chance came.
Yeah, but you need to be shoring up your defence if you're Arsenal, personally.
Yep. No, but I suppose with Ramsey having signed a pre-contract with Juventus, he can now be frozen out. Ozil isn't reliable enough, he gets dropped more often than not. Mkhitaryan, I mean, I can't remember the last good game Mkhitaryan had.
Oh, no.
I genuinely can't. If that Alex Iwobi is probably ahead of him in the pecking order, tells you all you need to know.
Would you like a little blast from the past?
Yes, please.
Liam Ridgewell.
Oh, is he still going? Is he still the thing?
He had gone off to the States, but his contract ran out, I believe, at the end of last year.
Okay.
And he has joined Hull, which I believe he's been at before.
Yeah, that rings a bell. Very good.
But yeah, apart from that...
the other interesting news, Wilfred Bonny's gone to Qatar.
He's gone to Qatar and Fellaini's gone to China.
I don't blame Fellaini, as I mentioned a bit earlier on.
Yep.
Fair play. And Bonny hasn't worked out for him since he went back to Swansea, has it?
Late in both of their careers, they're going for the paychecks, aren't they?
Well, I've got no problem with that when they get to that age. Is what it is.
So, yeah, that I think rounds us up for this week's podcast.
I'd agree.
We'll be back again at our usual slot next week.
As long as I don't get taken in the meantime.
All being well with the games at the weekend. We'll get back to you next week. For now, have a good week.
Cheerio.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to A Game of Two Halves. Please subscribe and leave a review.
You can also find us on our social media, on Instagram at A Game of Two Halves Pod, and on Twitter at @A_game of. You can also email us at gameoftwohalvespod@gmail.com.